beautiful summer day in the Catskills. I'm standing in a huge patch of mullein, Verbascum thapsus, and it is blooming, blooming, blooming. These little mullein flowers are many people's first introduction to herbal medicine because you can pick the flowers and put them in oil. And that mullein ear oil is a classic remedy to help children who have earaches. Such a simple thing to do. Send your children out on a beautiful sunny day to harvest mullein flowers, bring them home, put them in a jar, pour some pure olive oil over it, let it sit for 6 weeks, and then when the little one has an earache, gently heat that oil in a spoon over a candle flame and bit by bit, drop that hot mullein oil into the ear. Put something over it like a cloth. All right. Some women put a baked onion over it because baked onion helps earaches too. And then just let the little one go to sleep. Mullein flowers are a wild food that you can put in your salad. Most of the mullein is hairy. If you look at the buds of the flowers, they're really hairy. If you look at the leaves, you can see that the leaves are really hairy, but the flowers aren't. The flowers are smooth. They're very nice to put in your salads. They're tasty, and they look really nice as well. Most of us think of the mullein leaf as being a tremendous remedy for the lungs, and that's right. It really is a great remedy for the lungs. But the mullein stalk, this big, tough stalk here, and the root contain a very mild sedative. We think that this sedative action is part of what puts the little ones to sleep when they have an earache, that the flower oil is countering the infection, but also sedating and calming. And certainly when we harvest mullein, my tendency is to harvest the whole stalk of the mullein by cutting it off very close to the ground and then hanging this entire thing right upside down to dry. Now, I do try my best to get my mullein before the flower stalk has gone up so very far. Here's one that's just beginning in its flowering, and we can see that the flower stalk is far shorter. The flower buds are far smaller. This would be better to harvest for the leaf than the ones that are bigger. Although, of course, some people prefer to harvest their mullein from the first year plants. During the first year of its growth, the mullein forms a basal rosette right on the ground, and many people just harvest these individual leaves and hang them up to dry. That works really well, or harvest that and tincture that. That works well. But I found that by harvesting the entire plant, hanging it upside down to dry, and then using the whole thing, including flower buds, flowers, and stalks, that I get that mild sedative action, which is so useful for many problems that are going on in the lungs and the chest area. Asthma often has a component of stress and nervousness that triggers that asthma, and so this mild sedative quality with the mullein helps to open up the breathing and to calm it down at the same time. Allergies also have a stress component where the person has some anxiety involved with that allergy that causes breathing difficulties. And mullein then not only eases the breathing difficulties, but calms the anxiety by that very mild sedative effect. People sometimes use mullein, either the leaf, as something to smoke instead of tobacco, or drinking the mullein infusion to help move one past the desire for tobacco. Mullein is surely one of the great remedies, and I hope you go outside and find some mullein today, because herbal medicine is people's medicine, and green blessings, they grow right outside your door.